Hello there.
Well, hello, troopers, and welcome back to General Canoe's Bunker. Ooh, we almost didn't make it. We almost
Almost.
didn't make it, but sheesh, the gremlins, man, we're out to get us tonight. But we overcame. All right, and here we are. So first and foremost, let me say hi to my partner in crime here, Mike D. Dad Vader. What is going on, brother? How you doing?
Hanging in there. We got a few more days, and then we're gonna have some fun. Actually, like one day, because we're starting that Friday very early. We're
Yeah,
getting there
very
early.
true.
No nails in the tire this year,
Yeah. Very hoping
please.
for that. Yeah, exactly. That we're gonna put it out there into the universe, and yeah, hopefully the universe listens, because yeah, that was not fun. Um, but yeah, man, we are on the eve for many people because they get there, tomorrow.
That's right.
Um, basically, we are on the eve of Rebel Scum Con, part two, second edition, episode two, whatever you want to call it, happening in Frisco, Texas, officially Friday through Sunday. But like I said, a lot of people are pulling in, tomorrow.
It's true.
Top of my head, I know Tony's getting there tomorrow. Elvis and Chris are getting there tomorrow. I believe Nilda flies in tomorrow. I think Flex also. Now I'm listing people. So yeah, man, there's gonna be a bunch of people pulling in. Starting from tomorrow. Um, that's because they're rich. Mike and I have to work. Okay, Mike and I have to work tomorrow, so we will be making the trip. Friday morning. Hopefully, very hopefully, pretty early. Okay, like very early, so that we can be there in the Dallas area. I'm I'm kind of gonna say around noon-ish. Realistically. Hopefully a little
A
bit before
whole
that.
year has gone by. I've gotten a little bit older, so my bladder is not what it used to be. So we might
Dude,
have to make a couple of Bucky stops.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, and we cannot not stop at Bucky's. I mean, come on,
That's
that's a cardinal sin, by the way, down here in Texas. Just FYI. But yeah, so hopefully we'll be around there just before the show starts. Um, and yeah, very much looking forward to it. If I'm being honest, it's gonna be like a mini vacation, man, because we're gonna see all our friends out there. We're gonna be surrounded by like-minded individuals, a metric ton of Star Wars people, and just a lot of activities, a lot of fun activities, man. We'll talk about those in a little while too. For those of you who have not purchased your tickets or you haven't decided, if you want to make it out to the show, I still highly recommend that you check it out. I think it's going to be a good show. There's a lot going on. Um, I would say if you can, try to make it all 3 days. I feel that there's
oh
something
yeah.
going on every day, right? Um, that's worth.
Guys have
Yeah,
put together an incredible weekend for all us
yeah,
Star Wars fans. But if you can only make it one day, I feel like Saturday is going to be like the high
probably.
peak, but Sunday has a ton of panels too.
Yeah,
So more chill, relaxed, not hustle and bustle, but still plenty of stuff to do as far as like autographs, pictures. The panels, though, that's where I would be. Sunday seems very panel stacked.
agreed, man. And panels kick off like from 1 p.m. I think on Friday, because if I remember correctly, our friend Nilda actually has that one, or is going to be at that first one on the first day too. So there's a lot going on. Also, just a quick reminder, because I was watching a Tony stream, and I don't think a lot of people knew or fully understood. There's two rooms for panel,
Yes, yes, there
okay,
is. A
and
and B.
exactly, and both of them will have stuff in parallel. So there's gonna be two panels running pretty much at any point during the day, right? I know there's gonna be some exceptions when later in the day, um, the panel from room A will be recasted to room B, right, for
Yeah.
people to watch it live there. But I believe those are the minority, right? Like I think it's only one or two here and there. So yeah, so just keep that in mind, guys. I know you saw the panel schedule, but just double check if that was room A or room B, because again, there's plenty of stuff going on at both of them, and basically there's gonna be two panels for you to go at each hour, just about. I mean, close to it, pretty much throughout any point of the show. So again, just plan accordingly, guys. Tonight after you finish watching this, go check out Rebels ComCon. Go check out their breakdown of the panels and sort of plan that out because, like I said, there's a lot going on. So by the time you realize that you might have already be missing, a panel or two, depending on what time it is. Because, like I said, they're kicking off like early on Friday. So yeah, hopefully we get to see a bunch of you from the Bunker Bunch out there. I know a lot of us content creators are going to be out there. It's gonna be like a big old slumber party, and I'm here for it. I
Oh
kind
yeah.
of because if I'm being honest, so speaking of tonight's topic, it was my first time at San Diego Comic Con, and guys, I'll be honest with you. A week ago, I told Mike, I was like, dude, I am dead. I'm still like con hungover. Like I still cannot function proper. I was like, I don't think I can do a show tonight. Mike had some stuff, going on too, so he just kind of lined up that we didn't, do a high ground episode. But I'll be honest with you, man. Like, so I went live on Saturday. I think that was like the first day that I was like, I kind of feel like I'm a little bit back. Like a week later, dude. Yeah, San Diego Comic Con was nuts. All right, it's no joke. That's for sure. I mean, there's obviously a reason why it's the top dog, right, in the convention space, and it has been for I don't know
A
20
long
years
time.
or so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Did you
before
get
we
a
start,
chance to sit down at all? Like
dude, I
outside
had
of
to.
panels?
I kind of
Okay.
had to do like force myself, and I'll talk about that because I'm halfway proud of myself that I was like, drink water, like seriously, drink water, eat something, sit down, like take it easy, take 5 minutes, like that kind of stuff. Because I was like, otherwise, dude, I would have burned out like second day for sure. But before we dive into the nitty gritty, let me say hi to the Bunker Bunch. Thanks again, guys, for holding on. I know we started late, but like I said, we had a few technical difficulties. Um, Obviously, it's my fault because it usually is. But we got it through, and here we are. We missed you guys. We missed you. Hanging
Yep.
out here on our Wednesday nights. A regularly scheduled show. So we got Ultra in the house. What is going on, brother? Always appreciate you joining me. Saying, Daddy Vader, what up? Look who it is. We got Jeff saying hello there. What's up, brother? Thanks so much for coming in. Ultra saying hi to Jeff. Jeff say hi to Ultra. Jeff saying, been too long, General and Dad Vader. Dude, I know. Like I said, I had a ton of stuff that I wanted to talk about, with you guys after San Diego. But dude, I was out of it for like 3 days. I was like, I don't even I don't even know how to post stuff anymore. um got Bryant in the house, flying from Atlanta into Dallas Saturday morning, bro. Yes, let's go, dude. Um I saw that somebody was having an after party with hanging out with Harrison Ford, um Brian with the humble brag there. But yeah, dude, can't wait to hear all about it, man. Bader saying that, yeah, we're too long, but we're back. Yes, sir. Yes, we are. Brian says Ultra. Hello, everyone. Says Chris from the Man Collects. What is going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. Thank you. Ultra saying hi to Chris. And Ultra says, as you guys checked on the technical difficulties before the live started, unlike Dustin, I didn't check before. That was weird, man, because that night, or like, was it that night and the previous night, some people were having like StreamYard issues. um the Spice Runners, Jeff was running most of the show, and they were having, like they were freezing up and like losing audio and stuff like that. It was kind of weird. So I wonder if it was just something on StreamYard's end.
It's possible.
I didn't get an email from StreamYard, maybe because it didn't go live that day, but I haven't seen, but like I said, I did hear of a couple of streams that didn't go well, like technical wise. But yes, here we are. So San Diego Comic Con. First of all, I was out there since Wednesday, right? So Wednesday through Sunday night, I was out there. Um, and man, it's 4 days, right? It's 4 days of the show, Thursday to Sunday. But Wednesday they do preview night, and so pretty much everybody that I talked about to that has gone before, they're like, "Oh, preview night, you should shop for your exclusives." Why? Because preview night, it's just the show floor. There's no panels. Technically, there's no activations and stuff, which is not true, by the way. Like, but I'll go through what I heard first and then what I actually experienced.
What you experienced, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, man. So preview night, you just want to shop. All right. Shop till drop, grab your exclusives. That way, comes Thursday, you chill, right? Like you're good. You don't have to worry about, getting a ticket, standing in line, all of that stuff. I was like, bet. I'm all about spending money early. Heck no. First of all, the line to get into preview night was ginormous. All right. It was full on like a con day, right? Like and it started at, I want to say it started at 6 p.m. and it's only like 3 hours, right? It's only like from 6 to 9, I believe. Um,
And
that's
is it
preview
open
night.
to everyone?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you
Ooh,
have a preview night pass, right? So again, we were going in as media, and that actually covered preview night as well, which was another thing I forgot to mention because the everybody before we got the passes, everybody kept saying that press didn't include preview night. They're like, no, you're just gonna be there. You're allowed to be there Thursday uh, onward, right? Luckily, once we physically got the passes, then we saw that it does include preview night. So we're like, all right, that's good because we were gonna be there on Wednesday anyway. So of course we want to go. What we didn't know, and of course, remember this is our first time, right? And of course, we did a ton of research, and a lot of it helped, but a lot of it just ended up being, us asking, trying one way, trying another. Um, but the point is that preview night, we went in with like everybody that we asked. They're like, no, you line up with everybody else. They're like, we don't care that you're, press pass. Like you go line up in that 3,000 people line right there, like you go wait there. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, great, right there goes that. So yes, we didn't get in early, first of all, during preview night. And then once I got in, my number one exclusive was the Hasbro Black Series, right? Anakin, Obi-Wan, in the lava, with the droids, with the platform, all of that good stuff.
with the hands.
So yeah, exactly. um got in, went in, straight for it. There was already the line was already capped by the time I got there, dude. Yeah, the Hasbro dudes were like, yeah, we can't take anybody else right now, right? So once they clear that, then they would open up some more spots. But I was like, how is the line capped already? Like it's nuts. um However, I did stay talking to Mr. Steve, as I like to call him. Basically, the guy that's now running Marvel and Star Wars for Hasbro, right? He used to run Star Wars a while back, like I'm talking about like 10 years ago or so. Then he moved over to Marvel for quite a bit, and now he's back to Star Wars. So he's been doing pretty good. Mr. Steve 18, I think, on Instagram. I think most people here follow him. Um, and so I started talking to him, right? And they were setting up the preview of the HasLab, right? So it was just like
Mhm.
a square box with some sand on it, and that was it. So of course I was trying to get some info out of him. My man wouldn't budge. I was like, I hate you. Anyway, um, so I was like, okay, well, these exclusives are not happening, right? But immediately behind Hasbro booth was Jazzwares. So I was like, oh, let me check out what's going on there. Same, same. The
Cap-
line was yeah, the line was capped. Um, However, they were gracious enough to give us a booth tour. So they basically assigned a staff member to go through every section of the booth with us, right? And so we stayed there is what I'm trying to say, talking about that, and they were showing the exclusives and stuff like that. um by the way, I don't know if we got any Avatar the Last Airbender fans here in the Bunker Bunch. I love it, by the way, just for the record. But they had an exclusive Suko figure, and it was dope, man. Like I was so tempted, but I'm like, dude, I don't collect, Avatar. Like I like it, I love the show, but that figure was nice, like real nice. The packaging was dope. Um, so while talking to the representative, she's like, "Did you guys get a bracelet?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, well, you need a bracelet to just get in line, and
What?
shop, yeah, and shop the exclusives, right?" And I was like, "This is a lot, I'm feeling a little bit like overwhelmed." And she's like, "Don't worry." She's like, "Here you go." And she gave me a bracelet. I was like, "All right." But
Nice.
again, we were filming, talking to her and all that stuff, right? So I got some questions in that made it into the video for Micro Galaxy Squadron, kind of like asking them like, how do you jump around, eras? How did you come up with this exclusive as opposed to the visually very different exclusive from last year, right? Like the arcade game. And so once we did that, I was like, all right, let me go line up, right? In my mind, I'm like, I have the wristband, so yeah, exactly. And I
Multipass.
go, yeah, and I go in there like the line is capped. I was like, but I got the wristband. She's like, yeah, no, they all do. I'm like, great. And so I'm like, well, that's not happening. Um, so anyway, long story short, um, I did no shopping on preview night. Um, I filmed some of the Hasbro booth, right? Like I said, I started talking to Mr. Steve, which by the way, interview dropping tomorrow. They were cool enough to let me interview him.
Nice.
Which I'll just say right now, it was a whole other thing because I actually got what's it called, vetted. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
From their PR guy, from Hasbro. So that was a different experience. A lot of the times, with these people, you kind of just walk up to them like, "Hey, man, whenever you have time, you think we could do 5 minutes on camera." And for the most part, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Give me 15 minutes, or could you come back tomorrow, or can we do it at the end of the show because it's pretty busy." Um, but Mr. C was like, "Oh yeah, I would love to go talk to the PR guy." I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Okay." And then the PR guy was busy. Anyway, long story short, it didn't happen that night, but it did happen later on in the show, and I got a little story about that. But interview dropping tomorrow, so just keep an eye out from that. I would greatly appreciate it if you go ahead and activate that notification bell so that you are notified when we drop a new video here on the channel. Um, so just to wrap up, on preview night, I was feeling kind of like hopeless, dude, or like desperate. So I was like, dude, everybody said that that was the night to shop, like that's the quote unquote easy shopping day, right? And I'm like, I missed out on everything. So I was like, dude, I'm not gonna be doing good with these exclusives, this show. And again, my priority was not to shop again, as I was going in as part of Daniel's team, right?
You're
For
a
the Legacy.
working man.
Exactly, dude. Like I was, that was kind of my mentality, right? I was like, no, they're like, whatever we gotta do first, right? Then I'll try to, I'll try to snag some of these exclusive for me, obviously. Um, and so, and to be honest with you, that was kind of uh hard because before the show even starts, you get bombarded by different either publishing houses or like PR companies basically telling you, hey, we're gonna have this at San Diego Comic Con. We'd like for you to check it out. Um, we can schedule it for an actual interview. We can set aside some space for you at our panel. Like all of that kind of stuff. And initially, when we first started getting them, I was like, dude, yes, like let's jump on. Like one of them was, for example, the to interview the current, I believe, the current writer for Conan the Barbarian comic book.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then I was like, the only thing is I don't really know anything about the current comic books, for like Conan the Barbarian. And I was like, but I could maybe, figure something out. But then, like, 2 days later, we just kept getting hit, dude, by different stuff. And that's when both Daniel and me are like, no, no, let's pause on saying yes, and let's actually pick and choose because it's starting to be a lot. And I think, to be honest with you, man, that was a great decision because like a week before the show, man, we were getting bombarded. Like it was a lot, like a lot. Anything from comic books, of course, toy lines, activations, books, films, obviously. We were getting a lot of information, a lot of stuff, and I'm like, dude, it's only a few of us. We can't cover everything. Um, so of course, we try to hit the major ones. As everybody knows, Marvel was not present this year, in the sense of whole age panel. So no groundbreaking reveal that RDJ is back like last year. Um,
But do they really have news to drop on us? Like everything's kind of in the works that we know
Not
about.
really.
So
Yeah, that's what I
what
say.
were they
It's
gonna
either,
drop?
yeah, it's either too early to give us anything, or too late. Like for example, Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah,
Fantastic Four was premiering that night, like the first night of San Diego Comic Con. So I'm like, even if they do like an early screening, I'm like, well, how early are you actually gonna watch it? Like a day,
yeah.
So it's not like, oh wow, like incredible. Um, Actually, the press screening had already passed. I think that Monday, I forget, like it had already come and gone. So yeah, so Marvel was kind of just like in a weird spot, right? Like we don't really got anything. We were filming stuff, but not enough to show you something, and you already know who the cast is, so it's like not a big reveal there. DC was kind of in the same spot with their movies because Superman has just come out, right? So they're like, yeah, well, I mean, you already know, right? And our next movie is not gonna be till like 2 more years or something. But they had TV, and luckily they had a Peacemaker, which is one of my favorite things that
Yes.
DC has done like lately in the last, I don't know, 5 to maybe 10 years.
If you want to talk about an all-in moment, DC just needs to be like all
Dude,
in
yes,
Peacemaker.
yes, absolutely.
Build a
And
universe around him.
yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm glad that they plucked him, out of the previous universe and into this new one, right? I don't know if they'll ever actually like address that. Um, but if you remember, Peacemaker was part of the Henry Cavill Superman universe, right? The Ben Affleck Batman, universe. So I feel that since he came in at the very like tail end of that, like it was easier for them to just be like, yeah, don't worry about it. Now you're here, right?
Yeah.
That's it. We're not gonna talk about it. We're just gonna move on.
Well, the show
Um,
they kind of addressed like parallel universe too, so that
yeah,
could be, maybe another universe that Peacemaker was
that's
in.
what I was gonna say. But then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, okay, well maybe that's why
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you know what? We might as well face it, head on, lean into it, and just kind of do it the Peacemaker way, right? Where it'll be hilarious if it's like, oh, in this parallel universe where everything regarding Peacemaker is exactly the same, you know,
Yeah.
but other superheroes we don't care about, like, or something like that. Like, I think that would be hilarious dude, if they pull something like that, off. It's like there's literally not a single difference when it comes to Peacemaker. Um, but how do you call it? Um, so yeah, that was one of the bigger properties. Um, but I mean, kind of late into the game, they gave us, they dropped the bomb on us that George Lucas, right, was gonna be there, whole age for the very first time, and that kind of changed, the tone of the show, right? That's what everybody was buzzing about. Um, and don't get me wrong, I was ecstatic, right, when I heard that because I'm like, his first time, my first time. It's it's just poetry. Um, but yeah, and again, not that the show isn't great, but I feel that if that one panel hadn't been there, I think whole age would have been like, it was not awesome, like, or not like insane, right? Like it was great, but not like holy hell, like look at this. I feel that panel definitely elevated this year's whole age like lineup. Um, but anyway, so going back to what I was saying, we basically had a schedule every day, dude. Some of the stuff, we had to like confirm before going to the show. So we had like appointments basically. We had an appointment, for example, for the Peacemaker activation, which was very fun, by the way. We had an appointment to the Paramount Plus. They call it the Lodge. They basically take over a bar and they themed it. There was like a Dexter uh, serial, like unalivers, gallery, like with some props and stuff. There was like a Star Trek bar, which was kind of cool. I know, don't hate me. I said Star Trek and cool in the same sentence.
We have a trader.
I know, right? Um, and they had a like a Mission Impossible section too, so it was pretty cool. You also got two free drinks, and they would come out with like food and stuff, like burgers, like every so often. So that was great.
Yeah. So
Um, yeah. Oh heck yeah. We went to the Thunderbolts ice cream truck. Like they had a giant
okay.
uh Wheaties box, with the Thunderbolts on. So you would basically get in and take a picture. And then you would go on and get a free ice cream. And they had like three or four different sort of how do you call it? Themed, right? Um Ice cream, cocktails. And so yeah, it was pretty good. But yeah, so we tried, of course, have that ready even before going, right? So we knew what our days kind of looked like. But I was like, dude, on Sunday, I got my mission, dude. I was like, Sunday, it's all about
It's
George
go time.
Lucas. I don't know how I'm gonna get in. I don't know the process. I don't know if I can get in, but I'm gonna be in there, right? I don't know where I'm gonna be in there, like where within Whole H I'm gonna be in. I was like, but I have to be in there. So I was like, if I have to camp out, if I have to, you know, punch hole people, like if I have to bribe, officials, I'm game. All right. So that's why Sunday, like my entire, um, how do you call it? My entire calendar was just open. I was like, dude, because I don't know how I'm gonna be after that, right? Like if I got 2 hours of sleep or something, I'll probably just like crash and burn. Um, but I was like, dude, like Sunday, I, I got my primary mission, and that's the one objective. Everything else, is just gonna be icing on
Secondary.
the cake. But yeah,
Yeah. You're not going to the restroom. You're not eating.
dude, yeah,
You're
I
waiting
was,
for them to be like George Lucas
yes,
media, please, and you're just like the
mm-hmm,
Flash. I'm there.
dude, yeah,
And
um,
unless your camera had some super dope zoom, I'm gonna assume that you could smell George Lucas.
oh, dude, I touched his pan leg. He didn't like it, but I loved it. Um, yeah, dude, he was like, no, I saved that for my OF. But I'm like, I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
sorry, but I love you. Um, yeah, dude, it's still kind of is, to be honest with you, like kind of surreal. Like it was one of those things that you're waiting for a long time, and I'll go into more detail on that. Um, but then it just kind of happens, and you're like, and then he's gone, and that's it, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
he's, you see him for 3 seconds, but
Unexpected. We were in Hollywood. A black big old SUV pulls up. Doors open up. NFL linebackers come out. Short little dude hops out. They just start walking. And I'm a young kid. I didn't know. I was like, that guy looked familiar. My dad's like, that was Elton John. I'm like,
oh my god,
holy crap. And he just like
yeah,
walked right by us. But same thing. Like you just saw him for a split second, just a blur.
yep,
But I mean, that's Elton John. That's not George Lucas. So I can only
yeah,
imagine how you were just like, and it's
yeah,
over.
dude, oh my lord. So well, we might as well talk about it. But before I jump into that story, let me say hi to the Bunker Bunch here on the chat. Appreciate you all, by the way, coming in. I know it's been a little while since we talked on Wednesday, but I missed you guys, so we had to do it. Josue saying hello, General News Bunker. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining. Look who it is. The man, the myth, the legend,
Yeah.
the tech buyer supreme, bro. You are stacking up for this con over the weekend, dude. Cannot wait for the results. So Archer just got a new camera
Ooh.
and a new gimbal like 2 days ago. So my man is ready. So welcome, welcome. Jeff saying definitely StreamYard issues on Friday. Of course, when I was hosting. That's all right,
Showing
man.
the
You
way to
did
be.
awesome anyway. Yeah, exactly. Ultra saying hi to Archer. Archer saying, I need the ultimate question answer. Better or worse than Celebration? Oof, dude, that's not even a yeah. I'll feel that right now. Um, Archer saying, "Hey, Ultra TMC and Dad Vader, smash that like button." Yes, so I would greatly appreciate it if you go ahead and hit that like button, so that YouTube knows that we're still out here on Wednesday. We're still, doing good. Um, Ultra saying, keeping my fingers crossed that Jazzwares hasn't lost Halo license. They need to make more, especially next year. 2026 will mark 25 years of Halo. Dang, dude, that is insane. Like I said, dude, I was at their booth. I talked to the reps, and I'm sorry. Well, I did talk to the reps, but not specifically about Halo. But I was at their preview panel, and dude, like zero Halo. So, yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. Martha saying hi, welcome, welcome. Archer saying, whoa, you got a Mr. Steve interview? I do, which you can watch tomorrow. That's if I finish editing tonight, which I will. Um, hey, Volks says, the Dad Vader. Jose, what's going on, man? Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming in. Your sets my cousin Pop the Bounty Collector. What is going on, man? Who got room for me in Texas? You come on over, man. Texas is big. We'll fit you in.
plenty of room for Dick. We're good.
Exactly. Get your couch ready for Java. There you go. Ultra saying hi to Pop. Brian says, George is such an amazing person, man. I'm glad you were able to see him up close. Yeah, man, me too. It was the word surreal, keeps coming into mind. And that's the best I got, to describe it. Like it's just one of those things that you're like borderline not real, right? Like you're like, I don't really know if that actually
Like,
happened, right? Yeah, dude,
oh, it is
exactly.
real.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I had the gimbal, yeah, for like a week. Uh, Sexy Flexi in the house. Mi general, Magic Mike, see you mañana. We'll see you on Friday, brother, because again, Mike and I are not rich like you. We still got to work tomorrow.
We don't have the
Um,
private jet. We got to
yeah,
drive it here
exactly.
too. So
Yeah, yeah, they waste no time. Also, first time for Flex out here in the Lone Star State. So, hopefully it goes great. Ultra saying hi to Flex. Scylla says Flex. Pop says Flex. Archer says Flex. So I'm gonna go back to this question right here. Archer asking, I need the ultimate question answer. Better or worse than Celebration? Organization. Yeah. Take two. Organization wise, so much better. Which just makes me be so much more angry at Celebration, dude. Um, yeah. Um, Plenty of staff. Dude, they had like 4 layers of staff. There was staff for actual Comic Con, right? And they had a type of shirt. There was staff for the convention center, right? There was security staff. Then there was actual police, right? Like actual um, San Diego police, right? PD. And there was city staff also. Like San Diego's like municipality, city. I don't know what they are called, but those guys
the
were helping out
relation
too.
side people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, San Diego government people, right? Like their staff. It was kind of nuts. It was kind of nuts. They got it down pretty good as to where to direct people to, right? And here's when I'm gonna play devil's advocate for Celebration. Celebration is almost never in the same spot, right? Uh, it's not even on the same venue, let alone the same city. So I understand that adds, a lot of complexity. Each celebration it's like the first celebration, right?
I was about to say it's not even on the same continent.
Yeah, exactly, right? Now, the thing is, I feel that the mechanics of celebration kind of stay the same throughout. So I would think that by now, after so many celebrations, we would have a pretty good like training, curriculum or material for all of those new people at each city. It doesn't seem like that's the case. At least again, that's been my experience. And from what we've talked about here with others, that was their experience too. So now going back to San Diego Comic Con, it's there every year. So the venue is the same, um, and the city is the same. But from what I was told, a lot of the volunteers are the same as well. So you got people that are veterans for 5 to 10 years, right? So they know, right? They know the mechanics of it. They know that if you don't have your badge, you go to hole C. If you already have your badge, you go to hole D. If you need to stand in line for hole H, you go over there, at the second gate of hell and just wait, right? So, but that's the thing, like, and everybody was very consistent with their answers. I think that's what I like the most, because celebration, you ask two people the same question and you get four different answers, and they all contradict each other, right? Whereas here, pretty much everybody that I would ask had an answer, or was like, "Oh, I think it's here, but let me confirm with that guy right there who's like 3 steps away. Let me call him over. Hey, man, this is this. Yes, okay, yes, I had it right. Go here, go up there. There's gonna be a door there. Go in, right?" Um, and they were on point, dude. Like, I'm talking about my experience, right? Um, Also, flipping back to devil's advocate, what I heard from a few people that I know that go to San Diego Comic Con pretty often or almost every year, this San Diego Comic Con apparently was very low volume in comparison to last year, so very
Mm,
low attendance. A couple of them told me they felt that it was like half the people as last year.
wow.
Yeah, which I find very surprising, right? A drop that big, that's kind of crazy. But as I was thinking about it, it might not be that crazy with everything sort of surrounding, um, the things like tariffs, right? Um,
That's true.
Unemployment rates, inflation. People can't spend as much as they did, and
Not
also
really much for like Marvel, DC didn't really
exactly
bring
right.
out
That's what I was gonna say.
like, why am I gonna go? There's not much going
Yeah,
on.
exactly. So the bigger powerhouses, right, that used to rock whole age, they're not there this year. So I feel that once you start aggregating all of those factors, again, I don't know about 50% drop. I'm 25%, I believe. 50% seems like a lot. But
That's
what I'm saying
huge.
is, I do believe that it was less people than last year. If somebody here has the stats, like the official stats about, how many guests were there last year and how many were there this year, I would love to see it. So drop it here in the chat. So long-winded answer, but San Diego Comic Con, way, way better uh, organization wise and staff wise. Uh, I never spent more than like 5 minutes, if that, at a line to get food or water or something. Um, Whole Age has one restroom, which was like, dude, really? Um, and a lot of people, the thing about Whole Age is once you get in, right? Let's say a lot of people go in the morning for a panel that they don't really care about. Um, but you are not made to leave for the next panel. So a lot of people, that's just their game, right? Like they're like, I'm here for the panel. So they go in early when there's not that many people because there might not be, huge panels at the beginning. And they just stay dude, there for 6 hours, right? Like they'll just stay at Hall H. Um, so the lines on that restroom were kind of nuts. And even then, they moved, but still. Um, there is a re-entry method where basically you get a ticket, right, saying you can come back in for the next panel. Um, but it's not like all day type of thing, right? Like it's here you go and you got this little ticket that'll let you come in from this time to this time. So you can go out, right, chill, or go to another restroom, or go pick up some food or whatever, and then come back to Hall H without having to stand in line, which I think is kind of cool. But at the same time, it reduces the amount of people, new people that can go in, you know, later for the bigger panels, right? Um, so having said that, let me go through my George Lucas story, right? I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm trying to give you guys like as much of a story as I can. So George Lucas is gonna be on Sunday, right? Sunday at 11 in the morning is the panel. Since Friday, I started asking, "Hey guys, how does one line up to Whole H?" Right? Like, is it really like camp out or? And they're like, "No," or they're like, "You can if you want." He's like, "But we go by a wristband system. So the previous night, right? So Saturday night, you have to go line up. It's all about lines, by the way. Everything is lining up here at this show, like everything. You go line up to get a wristband, right? Once you get that wristband, that means you will get into Whole H, right? The next day. Now, which spot you get in Whole H, that's what people line up for, right? Because again, the wristband is just like a general admission. Like you will get into Whole H with that wristband, but it's up to you how far in the line you are, right? Like how early, how good seats you get or bad seats, right? So if you just want to be in there, you're set, right? Grab your wristband, go home, or you know, go away,
Yep.
and then come back the next morning and you'll get in. Um, and I was like, okay, fine. But then we are at Daniel and I. We were at a panel that afternoon, Sunday, early though, like at 5. Oh, because they said you cannot start lining up until 7 p.m. right for that wristband. So I was like, all right, we got a little bit of time. After this panel, I'll probably start finding out where I have to line up. And so it's like 5:15 maybe. We are at the Playmates. We're at the Playmates panel where they're showing some of their new Power Rangers line, and stuff like that. So we're covering that. And I got a text from a friend, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm already in line, and it's growing." Like, so he's like, they said I can save 2 spots only. He's like, so get here because a lot of people are lighting up. He's like, I'm already on like the fourth, line.
Dang.
And we're up to 6 right now as I'm texting you, and I see more people like coming. So of course I panic. I start screaming and kicking people, to get out of the way.
Out of my way.
And yeah, exactly. And Daniel was like, dude, just go, like, go get it. I was like, all right. And I run out of the building, and I do mean literally out of the building. And I'm like, wait, where am I going? Like, where is this line? And so I asked the staff, and they're like, oh yeah, you see the water over there, like by like the marina, right? Like, you go stand just before that. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they're like, yeah, it's like an open area there. It's like besides a park. Go stand there. I'm like, holy crap, dude, that's like, it's like a mile away. I was like, all right, well, here I go. So making my way out there, walking, and sure enough, right. So, this is where we're standing in line. I don't know if you can see on this side. That's the water, on the left, right on the top. Um, and and I get there, and they're like, whoa, 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 like, where are you going? I was like, oh, my buddy, he's here. He said he can save a spot, so I'm just gonna join him. And they look at me like, like, I don't know. And I'm like, bro, please, like, the line is growing like so much. Like, I was like, please don't do this to me. And he's like, let me see your badge. And I'm like, here you go. He's like, did he get a wristband? And I'm like, I thought we were in line for wristbands. And he's like, yes, but they are supposed to get a wristband to get the actual wristband.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
I was like, oh my lord, what is going on? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Yes, he does have one. Definitely he has one. And he's like,
Absolutely.
yeah. And he's like, okay, well, call him, have him wave his wristband at me, and I'll let you in. And I just started sweating, dude. I was like, oh my lord. Like, I was like, please, please tell me you have a wristband. And I call him, and he's like, hey, you here? I was like, almost. I was like, the guy's stopping me because he just wants to make sure that you got a wristband. And I'm trying to like emphasize, like, you do have one, right? And could you please, just wave your hands in the air? um, and I'm trying to like telepathically tell him like, dude, just find somebody that has a wristband and have them just like
Yeah,
throw their hands
raise
up.
your arm quickly.
Exactly. It's like, I'll give you $1 if you just do this, right? Um, and he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I think I do have one. And so he's like, let me do it. And he does it, but he's got it like on his hand, like grabbed, like like loose, like he's got it. He's doing this right with, and the guy's like, he's not wearing it. I'm like, he just got it, dude. Like, I'm like, he's got sensitive skin. Like he doesn't like to put stuff. He doesn't have to. And the guy's like, all right, all right, go ahead. And I'm like, oh my lord. So I finally go in. I joined them, right? And they're like, yeah, like somebody told us that they just started let people in, right? So people rush in to stand in line for the wristband. And so thanks to them, I got a pretty good spot in that line. Now, if I'm being honest, the line slowed down quite a bit. So while the line did grow, it wasn't the like mad, insane line that I thought it was gonna be. To be honest, um, again, I'm fairly confident that if I would have just stood in line at the time that I got there, I still would have gotten a wristband even without joining my friend, right? Um, so anyway, we waited for like 2 hours and change, right? Until it was 7 p.m. They started, handing out the actual wristbands. And then I was like, okay, well, now what, right? Like, do I have to go sleep on the floor? Like, what's going on? And they're like, well, if you want, there's like some tents right outside the building that people do camp out there. And I was like, dude, I am old, I am beat. I was like, dude, I don't know if I can do this. And I was like, but it's freaking George Lucas, right? I'm like, dang it, man. I was like, I don't know. So as I'm walking back towards the building, right? Because again, this whole thing is outside of the building, right? Like we're out of the convention center. I'm like, do I risk it? I'm like, do I man, I was like, dude, I'm tired. Again, this is Saturday night, right? So we've been hustling for like 4 days now. And I'm like, dude, I am exhausted. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the hotel. Um, and I'll play by ear, right? Like if
I was
if
about to
I
say
can,
that's when you know you've hit the right age where you're like George Lucas or a hotel mattress. Hotel mattress.
bro, 100%. I think if this would have been like day one of the show, I would have been like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go, right, and I'm gonna get some food, and I'm gonna grab like a pillow or something and put it in my backpack, and then I'm coming back like at 2 in the morning, right, or something like that, and then just duke it out. But like I said, this was last day, right? So I'm like, dude, my feet are killing me, my back is hurting, got a headache. I'm like, it's all going downhill, right? Once I secure the wristband, it's like everything hit me, right? Like, so my body's like, you got 30 seconds before I shut down completely. And mind you, we still got to walk back to our bus stop or shuttle stop, right? Still got to ferry back to the hotel, etc. Um, Daniel was like, I'm gone, man. Like he got a wristband too. He joined us later, right? We saved the very last spot that we could for him, so he got a wristband. And he's like, "You're gonna camp out?" I was like, "I don't think I can, dude." Like, I was like, I don't think so." And my friends, the ones that saved the spot for me, they're like, "We're just gonna show up early, man." He's like, "The line is not as nuts as we thought, so we're just gonna show up early. We need some rest. We fly out tomorrow." Um, he's like, and of course we want to be in there, but he's like, seeing how the line for the wristband is, I don't think it's gonna be that crazy. I was like, you know what? You've convinced me. So anyway, Saturday night was actually the very first night that we had a sit down meal like at the hotel, dude. We've been living off of like power bars and like sandwiches, dude, that we we've
Oh,
been fixing for ourselves. One, to save time, two, to save money, because again, the exclusives were not cheap. uh and so I yeah, so we actually go back, we have like a burger there at the hotel, and we basically crash out, right? Next morning, I wake up later than I thought, right? Um, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta go. I have to go. I'm not gonna forgive myself if I end up, like a mile away from him just because I didn't want to like wake up early. So I woke up like at 6. I took a shower. I packed my bag, and I was like, I'm going right. And so I left. Daniel was still like crashed out, and I was like, dude, just so you know, like I'm leaving, right? He's like, you're gonna go like standing on. I'm like, yep. And he's like, what did he say? I think he said like you like Star Wars way too much or something like that. And he's like, I'm gonna sleep for like a little bit more. I was like, hey, by all means, right? Like you don't have to go. I was like, but I gotta go. So I went, right, and my friends again from the as I was in the shuttle, my friend texted me like, hey, we just got to the line. It's not that bad. I was like, oh, cool, that's good. I was like, I'm in route. I should be there like 20-minute ish. So, and he's like, oh, well, just walk up to us. Like you'll probably be close enough anyway. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, did they say you can save spot? And they're like, yes, you can save spots, but only two. I was like, all right, cool. And I get there, and as I was walking, I bumped into Gabe, and Carly King, and they're both trying to find out. So they had another, like, I forget what it's called. It's like a professional pass. I don't know, dude. It's like it's not even media pass. It's like above that. So they don't stand in line. And they're trying to find out, basically when they will be granted access. And I think they told them like 9:30 or something. I'm like, huh, must be nice. Like it's still 2.5 hours away from me.
Yeah.
Like,
We're gonna
but
go get coffee, just
yeah,
hang
dude, like
out.
they just went chill, right? And they're like, yeah, just come back and we'll let you in. I was like, dang, all right, must be nice. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, man, like I'm around the corner. Let me go, and I'll see you right now, right? I tell my buddy. But as I say around the corner, there's literally like 1,300 people in front of me, dude. So the
Oh,
line was across the street, which is why I didn't see it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like right here. There's like 20 people. Let me join the line. And they're like, yeah, the line's over there. I was like, holy crap. And so I texted my buddy. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit longer than like 5 minutes. So I stood in line. It took a little bit, not horrible really, all things considered. And then again, I told them, I was like, hey, buddy of mine is up there, like, and they're like, yeah, just go ahead. I was like, okay, cool, awesome. So anyway, long story short, waited about 3 hours, and then they granted us access to Hall H, right? Um, but as I was there, in the tent, I see Star Wars Theory pop in, to the side of the barricade, and again, um, he's not gonna stand in line. I mean, let's be honest, that's just not what he does. So yeah, he was basically trying to find out, right, like how does he go in. um and he was there for a little bit, to be honest. He was there for like a solid 15 minutes, just, I guess, just waiting on people, right, to find the right people to talk to. I don't know,
I wonder
but
if
he was
that
just
lady's
there.
like, who are you?
Yeah,
Like,
I'll be honest with
yeah,
you, I think that's why it took long, because I don't think, you know none of them were sort of aware.
yeah.
And I'm
Well,
assuming it.
I remember seeing him post something like if anybody has a pass for SDC because he didn't get one because he wasn't going to go. And then when they announced that George was going, he's like,
George
I
was
have
going, yeah.
to go.
Yeah,
And so he may not even have the right pass. So now he's just
right.
banking on name and face to kind of help out. I'm pretty sure he talked to somebody at some point and got
Oh
upgraded,
yeah,
but
yeah,
but
for
it
sure,
would be
because
funny if like the whole time he's like, I'm pretty big, and they're
yeah,
like,
exactly.
and who
I
are you?
have Yeah, he's like, I have many leather bound books.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, so it was interesting to see him there, kind of squirming, like really.
It's
um,
like, I have lightsabers.
exactly.
So does
So
every other nerd here, sir. You're gonna
yeah,
have
no
to wait
kidding,
in
right?
line.
He's like, do you know who I am? He's like, no, that's why we're here. I was like, oh yeah. Um, of course, eventually he talked to the right person, and they kind of told him the same, right? Like, just go away, come back at this time, we'll let you in. Um, anyway, so we got in, right? We got into Hall H, and they're like, it's literally like a human fence, dude, all the way in, from the outside all the way in, and they're just filling up spots. So it's not like, oh no, I just want to sit all the way to the back. They're like, no, no, you gotta go like front, like we're filling up, right, front to back. Um, and then of course once the initial rush ends, then you can move around, right? Like if you don't like your spot, you can try to get another one. So we got pretty good spots, right? But I was like, dude, I now I'm getting greedy, right? Like now I'm getting greedy. Now I'm like, I kind of have to be in the pit, you know. I kind of have to be close to the man. Now, keep in mind, I had already successfully, made it to the pit on Friday, where I saw Mark Hamill, right? So this is the picture that I took, or technically video. So I'm right here. This is the pit, right? Now, keep in mind, guys, the pit is just dead space. There's no chairs. There's no sort of accommodations for human beings. It's literally just a space between some speakers and the stage, right? And it's guarded. I just want to make that clear. Not anybody can go in, right? So don't try to like rush the stage or anything. Um, there's literally two guards just outside of the frame here, where they check who you are. So again, luckily, and once again, thanks to Daniel, I'm not gonna get tired of saying that. We had media pass, right? So they're like, "Oh, your media." I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." But even then, there's a cap for how many people can be in that space, because once again, it's not really meant for, oh yeah, 100 people can be in there. It's more like 20, and I might be stretching it. Um, so this is where I was, right? Again, in the pit, there's the actual panel. And you do get a weird angle though, like for the screen. So you're like, huh, what did he say? Like, but at the same time, you're right there when they walk out. Also, Mark Hamill, by the way, just overtook this panel. It became the Mark Hamill panel. They're like, what were we here to talk about again? Like, which movie was it? They're like, who cares? Tell us about Joker.
Yeah.
It literally went like that, dude. It was awesome. But Mark Hamill. So this is for the longest walk, right? Stephen King based movie. And so they're like, oh, we're gonna show you 22 minutes of the movie, and everyone's like, oh hell yeah. Um, but then they're like, all right, so let's say bye to the cast. So they all get up and they walk the other way. So they go opposite of where we were. I'm like, really, bro? Like, dang it. Um, and that's it. He was gone. Like he didn't come out anymore. Now for Georgie, I was like, I kind of have to try, right? And luckily, I made it, right? So I was like, all right, I'm in the pit. This is so about an hour and a half still before the panel, dude. So by the time I
Dang.
make it in there, and they're like, hey, um, the new rule, like if you go in and you want to come out of the pit, I'm not gonna let you back in. And he's like, so
Ouch.
yeah, it's like, so I'm giving you one last chance to just go to the restroom, right? And then you can stay here, right? As long as you want. But if you leave, I'm not gonna let you back. And so some of the people that were already there, did leave to the restroom. I was like, I am holding it. I will train my body to reabsorb my urine somehow. I am not leaving. I was like,
It's a good
I
thing I
can't,
brought a diaper.
dude. Yeah, and I was like, dude, I didn't wake up, this early. I didn't stand in line this long for me to go to the restroom, and then somebody else took my spot, right? Or I cannot get back into the pit, right? I was like, nope. I was like, here, I guess that's it, right? I guess I'm standing literally here in this, like 12, like 1 square foot like area, like this is my home for the next like 2 hours, right? Because mind you, the panel is like an hour, right? So I'm like, it is what it is. It's what I came for. And dude, I mean, some of the okay, I I'm gonna try not to get on a high horse here, but in theory, right, we are there as media, right, as
Yep.
press, which means you're there to cover the event, right? You're there to get some pictures, to get some video, make posts, right, promote it, inform, etc. Dude, this one guy that was there as media was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna start a Lucas chant." Like, we're gonna get a thing going, we're gonna route him up and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're on your own on that one, buddy. I was like, I am not getting kicked out of here, like, because of that. And the guy just flat out, dude, top of his lungs starts yelling like, Lucas, Lucas, Luke. And like one other dude joins. And I just turn around, I'm like, I'm
I don't
I
know
don't
who
know
he
this
is.
guy like at all. Yeah. I was like,
You see
nope.
the tranquilizer dart hit him.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
And then yeah, dude. I'm like, nope. I was like, I'm good, man. I'm good right here. I'm staying in my silent corner right here. I was like, I'm not gonna risk it. Um, yeah, they were on us, dude. For that like hour and a half, the security people were like actively going in and checking everybody's badge, even though they'd done it like 20 minutes prior. And the guy would tell us, like, I know. He's like, I know. I see your faces now. You've been here for like freaking 2 hours. Like, but I have to check. So show me your badge. Showed him the badge, at every time. And then he's like, hey, you cannot be even leaning on the stage. Like, you cannot be touching. You see those like black bars, right? Like this, the railing. He's like, nothing can be touching that. And you for sure cannot be like beyond that. Like,
yeah, yeah, can't
don't
pass it.
stick, yeah, don't stick your phone out. Don't stick your camera out, right? First thing my man does, the one next to me, bam, like his whole DSLR, like in there in the pathway. And he just gets yelled at like immediately. And he's like, what did I just say? Like, get back. And so it happened a couple times like that, right? So I'm just there, dude. Like literally, I got my camera on my phone, and I'm like this because now I don't have any more space, right? So I'm just like there. I'm like, it is what it is, whatever it takes. Like I gotta be here. And so, oh, for example, no tripods are allowed, and so they're like anything handheld, go for it, right? Like if you got a little gimbal, that's fine. It's like, but anything that's like set up like down to the floor, that's a no-no. You can't. So um so then this one guy shows up with like a pro rig, dude. Um I'm talking about like the gimbal that is like attached to his, to his body. He's got the like 7 axis, on it. He's got it's not a giant camera, but you can tell it's a very, very nice camera. He literally has like an iPad hanging on the side, like monitor wise. And I'm like, dude, how are you surviving this? Because he went in like 45 minutes before the panel. Now, I didn't know at the time that was the StarWars.com guy.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and he was, because he was just there and he was like not talking to anybody again for like 45 minutes. And of course, later on I understood. I was like, oh yeah, I don't mingle with you guys. Like, I'm up here, right? Like I'm pro. Um, I'm kidding. I mean, the guy was probably like super nice, but I'm just saying like he didn't really like chit chat with us.
I was like, he's
Um,
in full work mode. Like
yeah, no,
this doesn't happen very often, so he's got to
yeah,
get
dude,
all the shots right.
exactly, yeah. And again, you have a very limited window to get that, that walk, which is, something that he did like 10 times. Like he just went like bloop, and he's like, all right, like new elevation, like bloop again, and he's like, nope, and like bloop, and like so. I was like, dude, you're gonna smack me in the head with that thing, like one of those. So,
You don't want to be the
um,
guy that got George Lucas's crotch while he walked in. Like,
exactly right.
like you want to
In
make sure you're spot on.
in 8K, right? Um, but again, I didn't know because he didn't really have any like identifying marks that I saw, right? Maybe he did, and I was just, um, going on like no sleep. So, but a buddy of mine, once StarWars.com posted, their sizzle reel of the panel, he's like, dude, it looks almost exactly like your like POV, right? Like your point of view. And he's like, were you like next to this guy or something? And I'm like, that's who it was. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. That shot almost took my head off. I was like, it literally almost grazed me like in the back as he was like swinging, right? His whole thing. I was like, that's who it was. I was like, dang it, I would have messed up his shot. Just kidding. Um, but yes, we were in there with with the man, the myth, the legend himself, and dude, it was crazy, right? Before him, of course, Doug Chan comes out. Um, Guillermo del Toro comes out, who is the director that I love. Um, yeah, it was nuts. Before you ask, I think he was wearing Nikes. Like I know that's been a topic. Um,
Were they laced up or Velcro?
no, they were
Laced up.
laced up. I think yeah, I think he went for the bow tie, right? Like attire for this one. But man, he looks up there in age. Like once
Oh yeah.
you know like see him, right? Like close and like with your own eyes. I'm like, yeah, dude, he's and again, he's obviously no spring chicken, right? He think he's 80, 81, 82, somewhere on there. Um, but yeah, man, like it kind of hit me once I like saw him. I'm like, dang, dude, like I'll just say I'm glad. I'm really, really glad that I was there, right? To be able to sort of experience all of that. Um, and this is what they were waiting to get on the stage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, um, yeah, dude, it was kind of crazy to just see them there. It's
Did
yeah, I don't
you
know.
did you peek the rail on that one, or did you have a good angle on that?
I didn't. I had to. So this, you see this bar right
That's
here
the
in the
rail,
frame.
right?
Yeah, if I were to take it normally, that rail was like right here, like exactly covering his face. So that's why it's not a great picture because I just did this. I just went boop and like back, and I'm like I'm good. I'm not gonna risk it. But you know, overall it came out okay. Now, mind you, of course, this is all like very dark, and you know the lighting is not great. This is backstage technically, so overall I think it came out good. That you can
Oh,
tell
it's
who's
a
there.
good picture.
Yeah, and again, it is kind of far, like from where I am.
He's 81.
81. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. All right, let me jump back into the chat, guys. I'm sorry I've been hogging, you know, the whole show.
You had
Do,
a
do,
whole
do,
story,
do.
man. You went through a life experience.
Dude, yeah, for real, man. It was awesome to just hear his voice, man. Like you know, like in the room. Um, where am I? Where am I? Oh, hey, look who it is. TJ from Drop It Like It's Hot. Sup, fam? Can't wait to know y'all in real life. So I saw TJ, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And she's like, "Hey, let's take a picture." And then like a line literally formed for pictures with her, dude. And I was like, "I'm gonna step out. Like, I'll catch you later." I didn't. I never saw her again. Like, it was off. Um, she looked amazing, of course. Paul looked amazing. They were at the Lucasfilm animation booth or little pavilion, so of course they were in the right place. So, dude, we had a bunch of people just wanting to take pictures with her. So I just kind of waved by like from afar. Um, and again, I think that was Friday maybe, and I never saw her again. It was just one of those things. Josue saying, "Felicidades, appreciate you, man. Thank you." TJ says they would have had to curate that because you still couldn't get tickets. Yeah. Attend DUIs. Can Pat's fan? Oh, I'm digging the profile pic there, man. Hey,
That's a
General
nice
Mike. Sorry, I'm late. You're never late, brother. You're always when on time. Can't say hi. Action Joe Fig saying good evening. Just got home from work. Appreciate you joining, man. Thank you. Hey Joe says Ken. Ultra saying hi to Action Joe Fix and Ken. Action Joe saying hi back. Hey Ultra says Ken. Ultra says, all right, guys, gotta go now get my rest. See you next time. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you as always for joining us. TJ's like, I hope so. Okay, it's like I'm on my other account now. Oh, look at that. Awesome. Pat's fan for life. Again um with the cool profile pic. LGP in the house. Greeting masters. What is going on, man? General, you were so close to Lucas, so jealous. Yeah, man, like I said, it was kind of nuts. It was kind of nuts. Hey LGP, hey Pats fan says LGP. So Pop and Flex says Archer. Hey Nerd says Pats fan. TJ says elusive what's a massage. People get stoked. Oh, I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
looked amazing. And again, it was just, you know, at the exact right spot, right? I mean the on the Lucasfilm spot. But dude, Paul looked amazing, and then I felt really bad because I took the picture with them, and I'm like, "Hey, TJ, I'll see you later," because there's a line like and stuff, and Paul just goes like, "Hey, it's me." I was like, "Oh crap!" Like I'm sorry. I was like, "Dude, what's up, man?" Like I'm so sorry. And he's like, "Hey, man, good to see you," and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, man." I was like, I was like, if nothing else, I'll catch you guys in like 2 weeks, right? And sure enough, like I said, they just got, you know, bombarded with
Bombarded.
like
Yeah.
picture after picture. So I was like, I'll just hinder the process. So I'll catch them later. Like I said, I never did, and I never saw them again. Um, Poptography, what is going on, man? Saying hello there, General.
What?
Welcome, man. Thank you for coming in. Action Jose, could you feel the force when Lucas went by? Oh, dude, it's weird, man. It is weird to describe because
Surprisingly, it smells like Ben Gay.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, and you can hear like the squeakiness of his shoes. But it was it was obviously like you're very stoked, you're very hyped, right? Waiting, for the thing to happen, and then he's there. But then as he's walking by, and again, this is just my experience. It was like everything like calmed down, if that makes any sense. It was like holy crap, like he's here, and like your brain is like, yeah, this is awesome, but at the same time, it's like sound doesn't travel the same way, like it's kind of weird, man. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna try to even fully explain it, but hearing him express himself, talk about art, obviously. Oh, that's another thing that I wanted to clarify. This was not a Star Wars panel, guys, like at all, right? Of
It was about
course
the
there's some.
museum.
Exactly. So this
Yeah.
was very much about the museum, which he didn't even give us an opening date, which I'm like, I thought that was the whole point. I thought that's why you were here, literally. Um, but to hear him express himself again, talking about art and different kinds of media, talk about his collection, um, super awesome. I mean, obviously, some of the images, some of the questions, some of the comments were Star Wars based, right? They have to be. But I'm saying like this was not a Star Wars panel, like by no means, right? Um, some of the images shown from the museum. So the museum is gonna have like a life-size freaking N1 fighter, dude.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, it's gonna have an N1 fighter and then like two more vehicles, which I'm blanking out on right now. Um, of course, Doc Chang designed them too, right? So that's why he was there. Um, but yeah, man. So like just to hear him talk about his love, right, for art, of course. Um, he was literally talking about like Peanuts. He was talking about Flash Gordon. Uh, Again, he was talking about a little bit about his collection, right? How he's like, I don't like to sell anything. He's like, it's stuff that I want for me, right, or to share with you guys. Like, but I'm not one of those that buys it and then sells it 10 years later for a big profit. And I was like, asterisks, except Star Wars. But hey,
Except Star
hey,
Wars.
hey, yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Um, yeah, uh, I enjoyed it. Like I said, his demeanor, his voice, is calm. But dude, people listen. Like as soon as he started talking, like the whole just went silent. Like everybody was locked in. Um, yeah, I loved it. I read somewhere that it was 6,500 of us in that room. Um, yeah, so over 6,000 people, were there to see him. And yes, it is true. He got a standing ovation as soon as he walked out of stage. Like people went nuts. I don't know if y'all have seen in the clips, but I mean, I saw it live. There was a guy dressed up as a lightsaber, and I mean like
Oh yeah.
full on body, so his body was the hilt, and then he had an inflatable blade, and then it lit up. So the dude looked like a gigantic glow stick, right? Like in the middle of the crowd. So that was awesome. I saw Theory sitting there. He was in front and center. He was center, but not front. I'd say about 10, maybe 12 rows back. Definitely not a bad spot. Gabe and Carly, I saw them as I was walking in too. They were actually on that same section, but a little bit closer to the stage and a little bit more in the center, actually. Um, and yeah, uh, um, but I was like, I just want to be near him, dude. I was like, I just want to be close to him. So I was like, I'm here. I'm definitely more uncomfortable than the people sitting down, right? I kind of got a worse angle because I couldn't really see too much on the screen because it's giant, but it's also like right there. So it's like your front row at the theater, right? Like so when
Oh
you're
yeah.
trying to watch like an IMAX movie,
This
you're
movie
like, yeah, like
sucked.
I was like, yeah, I was like, I can't even make out that corner over there. Like, I don't know what that is.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't trade those guys' spots for your spot. I would
Hmm.
be like, granted, I'm probably never gonna meet him face to face. So that's about as close as I'm
Yeah.
gonna get. So I'm not trading that. I mean, you could have whispered sweet nothings to him, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, dude.
That's I wouldn't trade that. I would go through all your struggles times 10 to be standing there and watch him walk out.
For sure. And to be honest with you, that was my mentality. I was like, look, everybody and their mother is gonna record this panel, right?
Oh yeah.
So I can go immediately after the panel is over, and somebody already posted it online. I was like, but only like 20, maybe it was 25 of us can say that we were this close, right, to him, like at this panel. So that's why I was like, dude, I gotta be in there. I was like, I just, that was a me moment, like you said,
Yeah.
right? That was like, this is for me, like purely for me. Of course, it does make for some good content and stuff, but like I said, like my pictures, they're worse than somebody sitting, 12 rows further, right? Because he's got a better angle, better lighting, all that stuff. But I'm like, no, like this is, I have to be this close to him. Because like you
Yeah.
said, right? In my mind, I was like, I'll probably never meet him, like in my lifetime. Um,
We it's funny we say that, and then, like, you roll into, like, McDonald's, and he's just, like, in line waiting.
I
You're just
know,
like,
right?
"Oh,
Imagine,
shit, George
like, oh
Lucas."
crap, yeah, exactly, yeah, dude. But yeah, it was a crazy experience for sure. What a way to cap off, an insane show. Um, like I said, it was our first time, both Daniel and myself. We did a lot. I feel that we covered quite a bit. Um, we went to activations, we went to panels, obviously whole age. We shopped around. I got the exclusives that I wanted. I wish LeBron was here because LeBron Fett, our good friend from the channel, right, for many years now. He texted me and he's like, "Hey man, I'm sorry to bother you. I know that because I basically told everybody, I was like, dude, I'm not really trying to get anything for anybody. I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna get stuff, right? I was like, so I'm sorry, but also I only got one suitcase, so like, you know, I,
Yeah.
I don't got much space. So I was like, I'm sorry, but I make no promises, like, to get anybody anything. So I'm like, my policy is like, I'm just not gonna get anybody anything. So that day, I think it was Friday, maybe Saturday. Friday, we did an interview with the marketing guy for Tamashi Nations from Bandai, right? And we're talking about all the brands they got, right, which is a lot. And he's showing us off the exclusive. He's got a whole set there. They had a nice little studio at their booth, like just for interviews, dude. Like lighting, cameras. I was like, whoa! I was like impressed that they
Nice.
dedicated an actual booth space like for media. So, so yeah, so we did that interview, and then like 2 hours later, LeBron is like, "Hey man, like I couldn't get the there was a Gohan um, uh, San Diego Comic Con exclusive, right?" He's like, "I couldn't get it, man. Like, he's like, I don't know how it is. Like, you think you could maybe try?" I'm like, dude, I literally just talked to the dude that freaking orchestrates the whole thing, man. Like, if you would have told me, maybe I could have asked him, right? Like, hey, man, any chance that I can, you know, jump in here and obviously pay for it, but just don't make me stand in line 3 hours, right? I was like, dude, the line is nuts. And he's like, no worries, man. I was like, I figured I asked. I was like, all right. I was like, I'll keep an eye out. But I was like, I gotta tell you right now, there was a line for people who already had tickets in the lottery, right, for it. And there was another line for standby. So whenever that people went, if there were any left, they would start
Then
trickling
yeah,
in the standby. So anyway, which again, guys, if y'all have ever experienced San Diego Comic Con, you're not gonna let me lie. And if you haven't, just be aware, everything is like a line. All right, whether it be virtual and you get a ticket to go stand physically in a line, or you wait until all of that people have gone and you stand in line, luck of the draw. Like if you get it, you get it. If not, come back tomorrow.
a lot of
Um,
luck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which happened a lot. Um, so that day it's like seven, like no, like 6:30, maybe 6:45 in the afternoon, and I'm just grabbing B-roll, dude. Like I didn't even get to like film as much as I thought I was gonna. Again, because we're jumping around different panels, different rooms. We're going offsite for activations, all of that. And so I'm walking by the Tamashi Nations and I'm trying to get footage of the exclusives. And the guy, the staff guy, not the one that we talked about, but just the guy that's there, he's like, "Hey, just so you know, we're gonna be closing in 5 minutes." I was like, "Oh, that's all right, man." I'm like, "I'm just, I'm just grabbing some footage and stuff." And I was like, "Did you guys sell out today too?" And he's like, "Nope." He's like, "We got all the exclusives still left." I was like, "Huh." I'm like, "How big is the line?" And he's like, "Dude, there is no line." He's like, "If you go in, he's like, if you go in right now, you walk up to the register." And I was like, "I hate you so much." And so I went in because I wanted the Godzilla, the Godzilla exclusive. But again, I kind of gave up when I saw that line, right? And I'm like, dang it. So I get up there and I'm like, all right, let me get this and let me get the Gohan. And so I text LeBron. I was like, bro, you have no idea like how lucky you are. I was like, it was insane. But yeah, that's about the only thing that I got. Um, Me personally, I actually didn't buy that much stuff, believe it or not. So I got the Black Series, right? Um, which, oh my lord, they gave you the most, like the biggest bag ever created by man. I'm pretty sure I could have fit in that bag, dude. Like it was ginormous, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this thing now? So there I am trying to film, lugging that. And I'm really not exaggerating, dude. It must have been at least like 3 feet like wide and at least like 2 feet deep. Like it was like practical joke big. Like and it was bright colors. It was actually really nice. And I had to abandon it because I couldn't freaking fit it in my luggage. Even folded up, like it was just like this thick by the time it was folded. Um, And so, yeah, dude, I'm there like logging that stuff around, people bumping into me, hitting my box, Black Series. I'm like, oh, if they break it, I was like, I'm gonna be so mad. I told Daniel, I was like, dude, I can't do this for another 6 hours. I was like, I have to go to the hotel. So I literally left just to drop that dang bag off at the hotel and came back. It was crazy. Again, I shouldn't be complaining because I got the exclusive,
You got it, yeah.
very happy, right? But I'm just saying, like, that there were some trials. So I bought that. I bought the Godzilla, like I just told you. Um, oh, I bought myself the Jawa ornament from
Mm,
Hallmark.
Hallmark, yep.
Yeah, and dude, that's it, really. Well, I mean, I did buy at Hallmark. I bought the wife little peanuts pin, and then I bought the kiddo a it's like a DIY SpongeBob, like I don't even know what to call it, man. It's not a puzzle. It's like it's got the form, the shape, and the colors, but you put like little crystals like in it, and you kind of complete the whole thing.
Mm.
I don't know. It's a weird like art thing that was exclusive at the Nickelodeon booth. Dude, Nickelodeon every day sold out like immediately. I kept trying because there
Oh,
was
yeah.
a set of figures for SpongeBob that I wanted to get the kid. Never, dude. I tried every single day, and every single day they were sold out. Um, and that day when I got it, that was the last day. And same thing happened to me. They're like, we're sold out of everything except for like these three things, and one of them was that SpongeBob thing. And I'm like, all right, well, how's the line? And they're like, there's no line. Like, there's no line anymore. Like, just walk up to the register. I was like, all right, bet. So that's why I got it. Um, and that was it, really. I mean, in terms of like purchases, I didn't really buy that much. I'm halfway proud to say. Um, but yeah, awesome experience. Like I said, I learned a lot. I feel that we learned a lot from day one to day four. We
Trial
adapted
by
to
fire.
quite a bit. Yeah, very much so, man. Very much so. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to again, guys, come in here and kind of tell a little bit of my experience. Right. Um, it was fun. It was crazy. I see why people make this a yearly trip, right? Obviously, there's a ton of awesome activities to do. If you're not into panels, you can shop the floor. You can go to the activations. You can go. There were some screeners, like screening for movies, and I totally missed that. Like I didn't even know they were going on. Um, there's plenty to do, of course, plenty to do. Let me catch up here with the chat. TJ says, appreciate it bringing Clone Wars to Rivers Comic Con. That's how San Diego Comic Con goes. I never make plans at that one. Yeah, dude. I'm happy to say that I bumped into a fair amount of people, right, that I know over there. Some of them I haven't seen in years, right? And um, with everybody was like, dude, we should go to dinner, something. I didn't go to dinner with nobody, dude. I
Yeah.
didn't hang out like at all throughout the whole weekend. We met Carlos T3, in person. We actually arrived at the airport just about the same time. He got there like 20 minutes later. So I drove him to his hotel, right? I was like, dude, I rented a car. Like, you don't pay for Uber, right? So we drove him to the hotel. We hung out. Oh, no, I take it back. We drove to our hotel because we could check in early. He couldn't yet. So we hung out for a little bit. Um, and then we went to drop him off. And then we're like, we'll just see you at the show. I saw him for like 5 minutes, and then we all like just scattered. I saw him, I think, the next day or 2 days later, and I'm like, dude, we should, at least grab a bite or something, like here at the show. And he's like, yeah, for sure. Never saw him again. And not until like Saturday night, I think, when I saw on his Instagram, I was like, yeah, I'm back home. I was like, oh, what the heck? Like, you already left. Because he was crazy because he did another toy show on Sunday, like still.
Oh, dang.
So I was like, dude, you are a machine. But it was great getting to see some of the people out there. But like I said, don't take it personal if we didn't actually like hang out. I was like, I didn't really hang out like at all, dude. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Um, didn't really get to do like anything, besides the show. By the time, dude, by like 7 p.m., we were tapped out. Like, we're like, dude, we just want to get to the hotel, take a quick shower, grab a quick bite, and just crash, dude.
Gosh.
Um, but yeah, one night I stayed up editing. I stayed up to like 1. Um, so I did day 1 and day 2 that night. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna publish day 1, of course, first. So I left it uploading, and I'm like, dude, I was literally not enough to like in front of my computer like bat. I was like, what am I doing? I'm just gonna upload it and I'm gonna go to sleep. It's hotel Wi-Fi, so it took forever, right? So I wake up and day 2 is there, uploaded, but day 1 is not. It's just stuck. And I woke up later because I went to sleep later. So we kind of have to go, right? So I'm there panicking. I'm like, dude, I just wanted to publish this dang video. I was like, it's gonna look funky if I publish day 2 first and
Yeah.
then like day 1, right? Anyway, long story short, I I had to trim it back down to 1080p, export it again, upload it again, and then I just watched it on my phone as we were heading to the show. Like, I'm like, is it uploading? I was like, yes, it is. And so I got it, and I'm glad because that one is the one that did the best. People did not like day 3, by the way, like at all. I don't know what it was, but they're like, screw your day 3. Like 20 people saw it, and I was like, all right. I was like, it's not for everybody, I guess.
It's the
Um,
way it goes.
yeah, it's just the weirdness sometimes, but day 1 did pretty good, so I'm glad that I actually published it. Um, but yeah, dude, it was a trip for sure. Um, quite the experience, like I said. In theory, for now, it's in the schedule for next year, so we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Um, of course, like I said, we learned a lot, so we're gonna do things differently. But overall, I think we did pretty good. I had a pretty good experience. With the whole thing. Uh, Poptography says Astro Boy original artwork, Roman Rockwell, lots of great media look is saved, preserved for over 50 years. Yeah, dude. And he loves it. I mean, he knows. the importance of these pieces, right? So he's very excited for everybody to see this museum. um I hope, I hope everything goes awesome for him next year, on the opening and stuff. He deserves it, but I think I was talking to Brian, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm kind of hoping that after that, like, initial rush, get the museum going and stuff. I think he needs to chill. Like, he needs to take a break. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's a lot. My man's been doing a lot lately.
we need to start preserving him.
Yeah, dude, for real. Jet Alex in the house. You all ready for Era Seed? Yes, sir. Yes, we are. We are very much ready. So, guys, remember, Rebels Comic Con is happening for a lot of you tomorrow, actually. You can pick up your badges tomorrow.
That
Remember,
is correct.
if you are in the area, I think they're going to be open from 4 to 8 p.m. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. So basically, you're going to show up to the venue, and there's going to be a desk where you can pick up your badges, starting tomorrow at 4 p.m., and they'll be there until 8 p.m., I believe. So, hey, go pick up your badge, linger for a little bit, see who pops up, maybe go hang out, before the actual show starts. So Mike and I will be there on Friday, um, hopefully early this time. Just before the show officially starts, we should be there, and then we'll be there for pretty much the duration of the show. Uh, Quick note. Oh, remember, uh, Friday night they got the Virtual Cantina's Punta Eve, right? Venue, which is a separate ticket, guys. Don't forget that. It's a separate event. It's a separate sort of organizer, right? They are working with Rebelscom, right?
Not many tickets are left either, FYI.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Earlier, I saw, I think they're down to 30. I don't know about right now. I don't know if they posted anything. So if you're on the fence, I would say jump on it tonight. Don't sleep on it, because obviously they're gonna sell out. Their guests, the grand majority of their guests will not be at Rebels Comic Con. Some of them will be, but some of them will only be there for panels, okay? Not to sign and not for pictures. They will do autographs and pictures at the Bunta Eve on Friday night only. Saturday night, however, it's kind of like the official after party at Dave and Buster's. So remember, guys, don't leave your badge, at the hotel, because the badge is gonna get you discounted food, if I remember correctly. I think
Yep.
free drink or something like that. Don't quote me on that one. I know discount for sure. Oh, free card. I'm sorry, free gaming card.
Gaming card. Yeah.
Yeah, for Dave and Buster's. So there's some perks to your badge. All right. If you guys are VIP, you get even better perks. All right. So we are almost for sure going to be hanging out there on Saturday night. I think the grand majority of us are going, play some games, get some food, get some drinks, just hang out. The guys from Rebels Comic Con will be there, right? Like Bobby, Kentucky, Dante, they should be hanging out. And then Sunday, guys, even though it's the last day, there's still quite a bit going on. So please don't forget, check out their let me show it here. Check out their Instagram, so you can see stuff like this with the panel schedule. So this is for Friday. Now remember, this is room B. There's room A as well. So plan accordingly, guys. I don't want you to miss out, because you didn't see there's a whole other room for panels on room A, like this one, right?
Yep.
So all the schedule is published on their Instagram or on their website, rebelscomconventions.com. So make sure you check it out. Make sure that you plan, because again, guys, pretty much all throughout the show, there's gonna be like 2 panels going on, at almost every hour. So make sure that you join, the one that you care about the most. Make sure you check out who's hosting what, right? We got good friends that will be hosting some of the panels, like Nilda, like Tiara, like Will, um, like Jessica, so again, plenty of more, right? So make sure that you are checking that out and planning your con. If you bought a picture, check the timing, on it. There are some time slots for all days, depending who you got. But yeah, guys, overall, it's gonna be a great show. We're gonna be there, so that's already kind of amazing. So make sure you stop by, you say hi, take a picture with us. You know, if you grab both of us, that picture could be a 2 for 1. I'm just saying.
It's very true.
Um, So yeah, make sure that you're checking out all the schedules because again, there's a lot going on at the show. Anything that I missed? I'm trying to think. Mm,
I'm pretty sure there's something. There's a lot going on.
yeah, there really is. Uh, we got Brett from the Jedi Cantina saying, "Sorry, I'm late. I'll replay it back. Have fun, con this week. And I can't wait to speak with you on Monday. Appreciate you, brother." And yes, so Monday. Oof, remind me the time, Brett. So Monday night, right after Rebels Comic Con, I will be joining the Jedi Cantina. He was gracious enough to invite me to come over to his show and just kind of talk about our experience right on it. And we will be having a regularly scheduled episode of The High Ground on Wednesday. So you know what I was thinking actually. Now that I'm saying it out loud, um, obviously I want us to talk about our experience, but maybe we can do a little bit of an open mic. If anybody that went to the show wants to
Come on
jump
down.
on, yeah,
Mhm.
and just tell us your experience, right? Because I'm sure we are gonna miss a bunch of stuff that other people are gonna see, and
True.
vice versa, right? Again, just because the guys put one heck of a show, together, so there's plenty of activities going on at basically every time throughout the weekend. Pat's fan saying hi to Brett and Lex. Lex saying, "Hey Brett, hope you're doing well." Ken says, "Brett, you too, Lex." Unreal how close you got to him. Yeah, yeah, it was nuts. Um, Jose, exactly what's the force smell like, and why is it George aftershave? Nah, I think we established it. It's Bengay. So, hey guys, have a great night. Unfortunately, forehand comes way too quick. Much respect, you all, and good night. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Get some rest. I picked up the Gohan Great Ape. Oh, dude, that Great Ape was gorgeous, bro, gorgeous. But then I saw the price, and I'm like, I don't know, 250. I was like, while I do think it's worth it, especially if you're a Dragon Ball Z collector or a Vegeta collector, right? Which is my favorite character, by the way. Um, dude, it was amazing. He had it there, like I said, when we were doing the interview. Dude, I was so distracted. I just like, I just want to play with it. It was awesome, dude. But yes, the price tag on it, to be honest with you, that's what deterred me. And the space, of course, that thing is like big. But dude, congrats! Those figures are nuts. Open up the Black Series, bro, dude. I need time, and that's what I don't have. I need to film it. I need to, edit it and stuff. And with RSC coming up in a day, I'll be honest with you, bro. I probably won't. I'm trying to get this interview out, and that's because it's mostly done. Which again, guys, would greatly appreciate it if you check out the channel tomorrow. I should be dropping the interview with Mr. Steve from Hasbro. Let's see. TJ says, "Gotta run. Gotta be at the airport at 4 a.m. We still aren't packed. See you soon." Yeah, we're kind of gonna be at the same kind of on the same boat tomorrow. So thank you so much. New York Comic Con is the same way. You swear you're going to meet up with friends and never see them again, dude. And it's funny you say that because uh, like three people at San Diego Comic Con that have gone, regularly, told me it's like you gotta go to the New York Comic Con. He's like, the exclusives happen here at San Diego, right? He's like, but the reveals happen at New York, like of the upcoming stuff. It's like everybody debuts the stuff over there. And I'm like, I don't know how much money you think I make, bro, but that's not a one in, two of those in the same year type of thing. Um, Raging Mando says, welcome, by the way. It says, General, did you pluck Beard here from George? We're going to have to clone him soon. Yeah, we are, dude. But no, it was an ankle hair. That's about as close as I could get. Jet Alex says, hopefully Tony won't talk to us into a long walk somewhere right on the corner here. Dude, that was horrible. Now, we did get some good food and, and some good beer there in Japan. But yeah, dude, I was exhausted and Tony just kept going and going. We went like 7 flights of stairs. I'm like, dude, where are we? Like, that's, yeah, that was crazy. Card for non-ticketed games. Yeah. PS Paul might be doing walk-ups for, oh, all right. So
Ooh,
important information right here. Paul might be doing walk-ups for tattoos on Sunday only. So if you're thinking about getting some ink done, check it out. Paul does amazing work. He is officially part of the what's it called? Like tattoo alley at Rebels Comic Con.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So make sure that you check out his work also on Instagram. But it looks like walk-ups for tattoos will be on Sunday only. So hopefully, if you guys are planning on it, you already made an appointment, and if not, you got Sunday,
Sunday.
to try it out. Lex says, "How much is the photo op with Dad Vader and the General for you? Phew, only $100. I'm just kidding. Um,
Triple digits.
exactly,
0.00.
exactly. We never said there wasn't a point in there. Nerd Affiliated says, "Don't worry, the review shirt is not up for pre-order at NYCC. They announced things coming up for the following year, like the Xenon or the NECA Dinosaur line. Yeah, yeah, but it'd be kind of cool, like to cover that as like breaking news. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is coming, and we saw it here and stuff. Like, check out some of the prototypes. I think it'd be pretty cool. All right, so I've been talking way too much. My voice is going hoarse now. Let's see what else. What else should we? I don't know, man. I mean, we got Rebels Comic Con, man. Finally, it seemed like we've been talking about it for, you know,
A
uh,
year.
yeah, yeah. If not more, right? Technically, um, and here it is. So I'm pretty excited. Uh, I think the show is gonna be great. But honestly, once again, I think the hanging out part is what's got me, the most excited.
Have you seen how many people have been posting? Like last year when we were talking about it,
Hmm.
me, a few other people like of our circle were talking about it. But outside of that, like cosplayers and like just other
Oh
fans,
yeah.
wasn't a lot of like traffic. I felt like we were on the front end of that.
Hmm.
Now it's just like, oh look, somebody they reshared somebody's post, and it's like, who is this person? It's like,
Yeah,
oh, from Michigan. Cool, they're coming
dude.
to Rebel
Yeah.
Comic Con. We got people coming from all over. Whoa, stay there. Uh, all over the country. I don't know if anybody's coming from overseas, but if that does happen,
Yeah.
that's gonna be epic.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, if somebody does, I think it would be worth the trip, man. You can knock
Oh
out
yeah,
like a lot of pictures, a lot of autograph. If that's your jam, this place is crazy. And also, prices are not bad. Okay, the
they are not
prices
bad.
are not bad. So keep that in mind.
I was streaming on Whatnot talking about it,
Mhm.
and I pulled up the prices, and people are like, "Shut up, Sam
Yeah, dude.
Witwer's only like $60." And I'm like,
Yep.
"Yeah." I'm like, "I'll be there if you want me to get something signed for you. Let
Yeah,
me
there you
know."
go. Yeah. Also, you reminded me that. So, guys, make sure that you are following the Dad Vader over and Whatnot. I mean, my man's been killing it out there. So, stay tuned for the next stream, which I'm assuming probably won't be for a couple of days. Since we do have
Right
Rebels
after
Comic
this,
Con. There you go.
I gotta jump in one last time.
There you go. Smart, smart, smart. So yeah, guys, make sure that you're following Dad Vader, on Whatnot. And yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for some posts from Rebels Comic Con. We are going to be posting quite a bit. So if you don't like to see our ugly mugs, then I'd suggest you unfollow right now because that's all you're going to see this weekend. I'm just kidding. We're going to be posting some cool stuff. Of course, we're going to be hanging out with good friends, awesome content creators, and hopefully quite a few Star Wars actors and voice actors and people. So pretty excited about
Rory,
that.
Rory is gonna be there
Oh,
again. Hey,
dude.
he's super excited to hang out with us. So
Yeah, absolutely, dude. So I bumped into him in George Lucas line.
yeah,
I went back and I should have re-edited, but as I was finishing up a shot, when I cut it, you can see him like he was walking in the crowd, and I didn't notice it until after. But I should have gone back and like added a little this dude right here, right? Um, but yeah, it was funny. He's like, "Oh, hey man, like what are you doing, man?" and stuff, and he got a pretty good spot too. But yeah, it was funny to see him there. He was just hanging out. He was just standing in line too.
yeah.
Unfortunately, we were like 50 people away, so we didn't really we couldn't really like yell at each other across the across the thing. But yeah, I saw him, so I want to talk to him about that. But yeah, guys, that is gonna do it again. Immediately following this, jump over to Whatnot, check out the Dad Vader, because yeah, he's gonna be busy over at Rebels Comic Con the next couple of days, so you don't want to miss it. All right, that is gonna do it. Thank you so much for listening to my selfish stories here, but San Diego Comic Con was a crazy experience for sure. Um, if anybody's on the fence about going, I would suggest you try to do it at least once, right? Find out for yourself if it's your cup of tea. It's definitely not for everybody. There's a lot of people, and there's a lot of standing up. There's a lot of lines, that you gotta, go through. But overall, I think it's a good show, and I had a blast. So I will see you all at Rebels Comic Con in person, hopefully. And if nothing else, we will be for sure back on Wednesday, next Wednesday, right, in a week, again, to talk about Rebels Comic Con. And if you guys went to Rebels Comic Con, jump over. We're going to have a bit of an open mic session so that you can tell us live how was your experience, right, compared to ours. And we can kind of reminiscing about the show. And once again, Jedi Cantina on Monday night. I will be the guest there too to talk about the show. Okay, I think I covered everything. No, I didn't. Dang it. Instagram at d.vader. Make sure that you are following him for all the coverage for Rebels Comic Con, as well as myself, general.kenobis.bunker, also on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook, General Kenobis Bunker, all one word. TikTok at general_Kenobis_bunker, and Threads at general.kenobis.bunker. If for whatever reason you still haven't bought your tickets to Rebels Comic Con, please make sure you use our discount code Kenob10. All right. I want to say they're the same price now as if you buy them at the door, though.
Door. Yep.
Yeah, the discounted price ended back in July. But if you just want to secure, a little discount, you can still use this code. It should be still valid. Okay, now I got everything, I think. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, have a great rest of your week. We will see you at Rebels Comic Con, and we will catch you on the next one. Love y'all.